arguably, the golden age of British general practice was in the 1960s and the 1970s, when it began to be properly resourced and we began to have academic departments, and it kind of was taking off, but it was still underneath government's radar. And I remember that the college used to complain bitterly that the government only talked about hospital and never about general practice. What we didn't realise is that a lack of attention from policymakers and government gives a chance for things to flourish, actually, for people to discover what works and what doesn't without the constant surveillance that contemporary practitioners are under, the ruthlessness of the QOF directives and all that. So I think allowing things to flourish is something completely that has disappeared from the health service. Just to let 1,000 flowers bloom. I can't remember what that was about, but it hasn't been happening in general practice for a very long time. The basis of rewilding is not to set targets for anything, and particularly not to have fixed expectations. Just to tweak something and then carefully see what happens. You will tweak on the basis of pre-existing experience and data evidence, but you won't assume you know what's going to happen. And you wait. You have to wait and see what happens before you tweak something else, because otherwise you won't know what happens. And it struck me that the parallels with general practice are just huge, because we haven't just been tweaked, we've been sort of coerced in every direction you can imagine, without policy understanding of what both patients and GPs in practice find important and helpful and useful. I want a doctor who thinks, not a doctor who follows guidelines. And, it's an intellectual profession, and we lose that really at our peril.